when we stopped functioning as a whole group in October, we had donated over 40,000 face masks. And I remember when we hit 10,000, and that was just blowing my mind. I thought maybe we donate a couple thousand, maybe. Our group had this really amazing, it was just an amazing place where you made friends and build relationships. And I think what it gave back to me and to the other members is even bigger than the masks that we did. And because it was such a positive space that we were able to thrive and do what we did. It started on Facebook. Peggy Hoffman in March of 2020 posted on Kohler Women's Network's Facebook group. And she just said, does anyone want to help me make masks for healthcare workers? And immediately people started to respond. And Rose Hartman, one of the other admins, and I responded saying, yes, we don't sew, but sure, yeah, we want to help you. What can we do to support you? And so between Peggy, Rose, and I, we created the official Sheboygan County Mask Makers Facebook page and started recruiting people to make face masks. And this was around the time that other large mask making groups were starting. There were groups up in Green Bay, there was a group down in Milwaukee, and two other girls, Joy Anzia and Ocean Timmerman, were both part of the big group up in Green Bay, but they lived in Sheboygan County. So they jumped on board with us and brought some knowledge from what was going on in these other groups that helped kind of inform what we needed to do. And so with their expertise and between the three of us, we started to reach out, and what we found was, yes, absolutely, we might run out of PPE, we need help. And thankfully we had members, just so many people signed up to our group and started making masks right away. So that was where the idea was planted. And then the ball started rolling. We set up what we call drop boxes, where people could put masks that they'd completed there, but also we could put fabric there and supplies and donations so that we didn't have to have that person-to-person contact. And there was a whole Dropbox and delivery team. So I wasn't going around collecting things. There were actual drivers. There was, 15 people on that team. And then there were people washing and bagging masks for individual distributions so that we could hand them out at homeless shelters too, and other places where you needed to get them out one by one. We were supported off the bat from organizations in our community. When we first started, there really was a huge shortage of elastic. So the Art Center donated huge spools of elastic. Their generosity really allowed us to make hundreds and hundreds of masks with their elastic. Plymouth Foam set up an entire sewing station at their facility. The Sewing Basket in Plymouth donated sewing machines for them to have in their facility, and they let their employees rotate through and make masks, and weekly they were dropping off hundreds of masks. Both Thrivent Financial and Beast to Care made monetary donations that allowed us to purchase fabric for some of our members who they didn't have fabric on hand. Again, you couldn't go to Joann, so it was that those fabric donations were really huge for us. And I'm sure I'm missing someone, but Festival Foods also donated all sorts of bags and packaging material. They printed all of our information sheets for us. So we were really supported by our community right off the bat, and it allowed us to get rolling really quickly when the need was really big. So we donated every mask. We never charged any money. Started with the area hospitals. We hit as many nursing homes and assisted living centers as we could. We had food banks, homeless shelters, senior living, hospice, businesses, schools and daycares. We had the prison, centers for aging, organizations supporting people with disabilities, police stations, fire departments, libraries, post offices, the bus system. We were handing them out at Festival Foods and Habitat for Humanity. And I think it just really surprised me how graciously the community accepted our masks, and they were so thankful, and it was really humbling to be able to provide that to them and for them to respond in such a loving way.
You were in dire straits to make sure our team members and our patients coming in the door had masks available to them. Because of the short supply of PPE, having the cloth masks from the mask makers allowed us to extend our PPE to be used in providing direct patient care. And I think I put a call out to like 4 different groups, and all of them came back with the mask makers information. I bet within hours they had responded to my email were asking me like, is that all you need? What else do you need? How can we help you? Within a 24-hour period, we had 400 masks at our fingertips. I don't know the back end of it, but I will tell you within 24 hours, we had masks for our patients, for our employees. It was such a lifesaver at that initial point. I bet we have received from the mask makers here in Sheboygan County over 1,000 masks throughout this pandemic. So it started with 400, but it's been thousands of masks. In fact, random mask makers will drop off 20 or so masks to us still to this day. For us and our patient population, it's a little different than everybody else who has a monetary ability to purchase masks. A lot of our patients don't have that luxury, and so we were able to supply masks to patients who may not have had the ability to get them and would have gone into grocery stores and other places without that protection. And a large part of our patient population also has that comorbidity, so multiple chronic diseases. The ability to protect them was so important. We just got some more cloth masks and they're out there, and every time we get it, people are like, "Oh, I need a new cloth mask." So it's been really exciting. For us also, it just added that bit of hope and love that our community still supported what we were doing.
We do still have about 10 to 15 members who work together, and they continue to try to provide face masks for our homeless shelters, food banks. Certain clinics in Sheboygan are still accepting them, and hospice, and they would welcome with open arms anyone who's wanting to sew and wants to get on board with them. We live in such a loving, gracious community that if you're looking to do good, start with the United Way, and there are many, many opportunities.
I want to extend a huge congratulations to Carrie and the entire team from the Sheboygan County Mask Makers. I can't think of a more deserving group of people. From every step along the way, their masks have made such a big difference in the lives of our residents and their family members. And whether you donated elastic or fabric, or the people who are creating the masks, or people who are dropping them off to different facilities, you have made such a big difference. We can't thank you enough. Thank you.
I'm just so privileged to be able to share about the group, and really honored that they got the award, and really proud of them.
Congratulations. And thank you to the Sheboygan Mask Makers. We couldn't have gotten through the pandemic without you, so I really appreciate it.